Collage style logos are all about combining ideas and seeing the unique juxtaposition between two or more seemingly maybe opposite ideas and coming up with something creative in between. Now, we started off this entire project by brainstorming and mind mapping different ideas that help us come up with the names for our logo or for our business that we're doing. You may want to revisit this and also look for some physical, concrete ideas that also can be represented as well. So when I think of translation, or when I think of type, or when I think of speaking, I think of circuit boards. There's terra lingua, made me think of land or buildings. There's books, parts of speech, letter bubbles. All of these are specific things that I know I can draw, I can see them, and they're concrete. They're not abstract ideas like time or love, those kind of things. This is going to be helpful because now I can take these concrete ideas and start to blend them together. For the first prompt on this one, you could start by combining just the name and applying one of these visual images to the name somehow in it. Now, some are going to work better than others, and this is one where you may want to be very picky about which visual you want to add to which name of your design. In my case, so let's say I wanted to add Go Lingo to have a speech bubble somewhere in it. Well, what are some different ways I could draw a speech bubble, and where can I place the speech bubble? Real quickly, I just came up with this particular design. So I got the speech bubble inside of a letter. I could easily have the speech bubble outside, maybe talking to one particular letter, or this letter could have been the speech bubble on the outside of it. But I've incorporated that somewhere in the text of the speech or in the text of the design of the logo itself. Same way with this one. So idiom and a clock. For this one, I thought I could add the clock inside of the O. Now, as I started working on this, it's relatively simple. I thought maybe it's kind of getting lost inside of this one. It looks a little bit much like an L. So I reworked it to give it a more abstract and objective style. For the other ones, adding a mouth to type tongue, especially emphasizing the fact that it's a tongue. And so you're speaking it or you're putting a tongue with it. And I played around with the placement of that illustration within here. Sometimes you can just place it inside of the word inside of another object. So in this case, what would metalang look like if it was written on the side of a pencil? Again, this plays into the style that you're most comfortable with and that's appropriate for the business that you're working with as well. But taking just the name of one of your businesses and applying some sort of visual to it is the first prompt and first part of working in the collage section. The second prompt for collaging combines two ideas together, and then you can of course apply that to working with the text or the name of your design. So what if you took a speech bubble and applied it to a clock? What would that look like? Well, in this case I did it with waywords, and so now I've got my speech bubble directed towards the R, and inside of it, it gives the idea of time and being able to work quickly, and so I've got the clock inside of the speech bubble. This is one particular solution to it. It may not work best, but it is kind of a unique way of thinking about it. Adding pencil and buildings, what would that look like? Is it several buildings or several pencils pulled together as a building? And so this was the design that I came up with this one. This one paired really nicely with VoiceLink because now the little V looks like it's part of the pencil overall design. So for the second prompt, just like with the first, you're taking two ideas, but in this case it's two visuals, and you're trying to combine together what they would look like if you had two juxtaposed visual ideas. What would a globe with letters look like? At any time you can always revisit these. Some again will work better than others, and you may need to add on to your list. Just make sure it's appropriate for the business name that goes along with what you're working with as well. Once you've got these are the ones we're going to add to the collage part of our document.